We are through to the final 8 of the Champions League, and I did not think I would be saying this. Did you think that we were going to win this game yesterday? And what were your thoughts on it? I mean, the boys absolutely showed up for this game. It was one for the books, to be honest. We kept a clean sheet. We were able to get a penalty. VAR was on our side. I mean, it was just one of our good days, and I will be taking this and I will be accepting it. I mean, it's one of the positives. But the major question that everyone keeps asking, do we still want Potter to stay? It's safe to say that he has kept his job, because these last 3 games were supposed to be very crucial for him, and he has overcome, or he has somehow made the players work for him, because they were clearly not working for him before. Clearly, because in terms of the game yesterday, it was very interesting to see in terms of the starting 11. And isn't it funny that as soon as we go back to the back 3 or back 5, back 3, we just go back to our old formation. We go back to our scoring, and everything just keeps it keeps happening. Like, we just did not lose a coach, and we just did not sign another coach. So it's very interesting that the formation that Graham Potter decided to go with for this game. But coming to this game, we were already the losers. I mean, going to Borussia Dortmund, we're already 1-0 down. So coming to this game, we had to prove a point. So we were able to turn the script around. We're able to win this game with a 2-0 win. So this will be my review for the Chelsea versus Dortmund game that happened in the Stamford Bridge. We were able to win. We'll be qualifying for the next round of the Champions League. So this is some good news, and Graham Potter gets to keep his job. It's a win-win. I mean, I'll just have to look at the positives, to be honest. Yesterday's game, the boys actually showed up. I actually saw Cucurella. He won player of the match. I mean, it speaks a lot. So if you're new to the channel, please make sure you click the subscribe button, and don't forget to share the video with your family and friends. It really helps me a lot. Turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified once I upload a video. Like the video too, and let's jump right into it. So in terms of starting 11, of course, now I've been asking this question for the longest time, but if you read the news, you know this by now. Now, where is Mendy? Where is a certain Mendy? Where is one lad Mendy? Mendy was very good in total era, and he did very well for himself. But in terms of this season, he has just been nowhere to be seen. And I'm not complaining. I mean, Kepa yesterday stepped up. Now, the big question will be, can we keep up the consistency? We have a game on Saturday. We will be facing Leicester City. We'll be going to the King Power Stadium now. It will be very interesting to see how it goes, but it's safe to say that this win has secured Graham Potter's job. So in terms of starting 11, as I go into it very quickly, now we had Kepa in goal. We had a 3-4-2-1 formation. 3-4-2-1 formation. So we had Kepa in goal. In terms of the back 3, we had Wesley Fofana, Kalidou Koulibaly, and then we also had Cucurella. Then in terms of the left wing back, we had Ben Chilwell. At the pivot, we had Enzo Fernandez and Kovacic coming in as captain. Then at the right wing back, we had Reece James. Then finally, in terms of the front 3, we had João Felix, then we had Sterling, of course we had Kai Havertz. Now, the game starts off well. It's safe to say we saw a different side of Potter. I mean, Potter was hyping the fans up. He was like, yo, you guys should shout, At least that's what I thought he was saying. I mean, in terms of Potter, yesterday his demeanor was different, and I guess the pressure that was on him got to him, and he took it on in a positive way. So I'm not complaining whatsoever. I mean, we've qualified for the next round of the Champions League, unlike some teams that are just flourishing, but we are not here to throw any banter. This is a positive video. We have been having negatives throughout the season, so let us enjoy this one while we still can. In terms of the first half, now in terms of possession, I mean, Dortmund were doing the absolute most, and their fans, they came with the whole drum, with the smoke. That's why the game had to be delayed for a bit, but we were able to turn the game around despite them having more possession. For the first few minutes, we were able to turn things around, and you would see that we're trying as much as possible. We were trying to create chances. You would actually tell that the boys wanted to win this one. Not for the coach, not for the club, but for themselves. They wanted to prove a point, and they did. If they did it for the coach, oh well, I'm not who am I to complain. So in terms of the first half, As I said, the first few minutes were a bit tough for us, but we went on and we kept on. We maintained the clean sheet up to the 43rd minute where Sterling had a deflection. No, Sterling almost had a deflection outside the box. Of course, we had great attempts from Kai Havertz. We had great attempts from João Felix, but we're just not having the opportunity to get the goal across. So in terms of yesterday's goal, the first goal was by Sterling, a very incredible goal. First of all, it was a block. He kept his composure. He was very calm and collected, or not, but he was able to score. And this had us leading. So coming to the second half, we were feeling quite confident, and I was a bit happy. And you know, once we went 1 up, we had an aggregate of 1-1. So it was only a matter of time. The game would have gone either way, and anyone would have taken this game home. Luckily for us, you know, this game is not for babies, and we know our shit in this game. We are used to this stuff, and the Champions League, it's a different type of ball game, okay? So we will be playing Europa next season, but while we're still in the Champions League, maybe, who knows, we might win, and a girl can dream. We might win, and we might possibly proceed to the next season, to the Champions League, without having to suffer in the Premier League, because we're suffering in the Premier League. So in terms of second half, coming in, we're feeling more confident, and the boys were just looking all sorts of confident. I ain't gonna lie. The boys were looking like they were hungry for the ball. Those high pressing, Enzo Fernandez. I mean, you collect a foul if you want, bench you, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, the most important thing was to make sure we had a win. And for the first time in forever, we had VAR on our side. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. First time for the penalty check, where we were granted the penalty. Second time when Kai Havertz took the penalty, only for it to hit the goal post, and this was bad. This was bad. I was taking deep breaths, because you know what? Kai Havertz, you know, you in Champions League have a history, you know, of winning, so he had to make a point, and there was an encroachment, again, VAR to our side, to our aid, to our help, and we were able to retake the penalty and win the game. All in all, I was happy about this game. In terms of substitutions, again, I have a bit of questions as to why. This is where some fans had a bit of disagreement in terms of the substitutions that Graham Potter made. I mean, we're leading 2-0. We're leading with 2 goals up, and you'd think that would bring in more defense, but I guess it worked in his favor because substitutions came in and they kept on the gameplay. And yes, we saw a bit of fun, a bit of gameplay from Conor Gallagher here and there. Yeah, I cannot complain. But in terms of João Felix, he definitely did not want to come out. You see it from his face, he was absolutely gutted. But what would he have done? So in terms of substitutions, at the 67th minute, we had João Felix coming off and Conor Gallagher coming in. We had Sterling coming off and RLC coming in. Kovacic comes out, Pulisic comes in, and then finally we had Enzo Fernandez at the 87th minute coming off and Zakaria coming in. So in terms of this game, the positives I can take is the fact that do not play with the Blues. Do not play with the Blues, because you know what? When it's time for us to show up, when it's time for us to step up to the game, we will. I can talk about it now with a positive mood, with a happy mood, but that was not the case yesterday. I was actually a bit nervous. Let us see how the next game goes. We face Leicester on Saturday. Now this will be an away game. In terms of the Premier League, things are not going our way. Can we see this same consistency? Can we see the consistency going on, and eventually it should lead to something better? Now, will Graham Potter stay? Absolutely yes. I mean, with the way Todd Boehly hugged him with his beer yesterday, it's safe to say he's not going anywhere. So, and again, we were able to win all our games in the Champions League, and we've qualified to the next round. So again, count the positives, and it is what it is. So once again, up the Blues, and I'm really excited to see what what comes on Saturday. Now, the Premier League definitely is not our strength, clearly, but Champions League, we're doing okay, so I'll take that as positive. And that was it for my video. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you like the video, share it with your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. I'll be seeing you in my next video.